Hello everyone, just gonna give a brief tour of my fig tree, show you what's growing on, and what I've got in dormant cold storage afterwards. So here's my grow room. My wife says I have way too many trees, and absolutely forbids a fig from entering the house proper, but I don't really see what she's talking about, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that agree that you really can't have too many figs until you do have too many figs. So these ones here are my strongest rooters right now. They're got the biggest growth. They're getting the prime light positions. The other guys are on the side here are doing well, and they are just starting to leaf out. I'm giving them the indirect light. They don't really need it as much as the big guys, and I really want those bigger ones to put all that energy into roots and leaves as possible. Doing quite well. I'm very happy. Most of these ones over here are cuttings that I rooted from cuttings I took, so they were very fresh, and I've had very, very high success rates with them. So can't argue with that. I've got some really big ones I'm very happy about. I've got some that are going to go bushy. I've got a few Scots Yellow that have done really, really well for me. Some other ones from forum members. A lot of my cuttings are from forum members in trades or good deals. I've bought a few because everybody buys some, but not too much this year. I just haven't had the space for it, and I've been putting away money for shipping because I've got a lot of trades lined up for the spring. Very excited about that. Trades are an excellent way to develop friendships with other growers, get new varieties, and get rid of all the extra things that you really don't want, because I don't want 10 of something. That's just a waste of space. So I've got, these ones are kind of my B group. I got one over there that's growing kind of sideways. Not sure what's up with that. They're doing pretty well. They either have roots and are just now starting to make leaves, or they have been making leaves and then paused and made roots. So they're not really the biggest, but they're all doing fairly well, and I expect them to continue to do well. So these guys aren't quite as far along as the ones behind me there, but still doing very well. This one here was an air layer sent to me by Ross, and very excited about that. It was a little Italian Letizia. Only had one root, but it was just a late air layer, very small, but I managed to keep it going, and now I think I'm going to have a very nice tree out of it. So very excited about that. I've got some down here just starting to pop out. Gonna open tomorrow. Probably will open soon. It's got 4 little buds like that coming. This guy and a few others like him are a disappointment. They made so many baby figs that I let grow and then kept twisting off because they were getting bigger. I had one that was getting the size of a penny, and they never made any shoots. So hopefully there's some rooting action going on there. Not going to disturb it. If there is, then maybe we'll get some leaf growth, which I have seen with some others. These guys are some other ones. They're just catching up. A couple days ago, these ones opened up. Very exciting. I got some pomegranates here that I got from a forum member. Pretty excited about that. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can make some of those root. I doubled them up just in the interest of space, and because I don't know what I'm doing with pomegranates, and I've been told they're like figs, but we'll see. Couple more figs going over here. Doing very well. Some more popping out. Just last night, I was very excited. My wife didn't care when I got home at midnight that I was talking about my 1 Peter's honey with 4 new buds on it. She's like, I want to go to sleep. Shut up. But that's the norm. I got some citrus doing very well. They're just on a new fertilizer regimen. Most of these are polyembryonic, so they will grow true to type, if not a clone of their parent. So this is kind of my weeding out time. So where I've got 4 to 6 of them, and in another year or so, I'm probably going to only have 1 or 2. And just keeping the ones that show a lot of root in leaf development, because even if they are true, it doesn't necessarily mean they're strong enough to really survive the 4 or 6 years necessary to produce fruit. And don't want to keep something for 20 years that's a dud. These guys I'm pretty excited about. They're just opening up last week and the week after. I'm sure some of you recognize that's an oak leaf. So we'll see how successful I am at keeping these in pots. Supposedly you can do it, but I'm glad that this variety is a slow grower. There are some that I've heard about that can put out a taproot 3 to 5 feet per year, and that is obviously not manageable in a pot. But this is an English oak. They're supposed to live 500 to 800 years and get about 100 feet tall and wide. And these acorns I collected from the base of the tree, and they were starting to make roots, so I of course could not resist putting a dozen of those in my pocket. Very exciting. I always loved an English oak. It's always been my favorite one. So last quick pan of that, and I'll show you briefly my rooted trees and some of my rooted cuttings from the end of last year that I have out here. These guys I just repotted. My biggest are in 7 gallons. My smallest are in probably 2-gallon pots. They're doing quite well. I'm pleased with that. Hopefully next season I'll get some really good growth and maybe a few more figs. I've got probably 40 varieties here. Only 1 or 2 duplicates. Most of the time I don't usually keep duplicates once I got a really strong tree going. And haven't really tasted more than 2 of them in figs, so we'll have plenty of things to taste in the coming years for sure. Between everything, it'll be quite the little buffet. So yeah, these are actually in a 511 type soil. It's something normally used for citrus. It's a well-draining bark-based mix. Mine is a little bigger than it's recommended, but I used what I could get, and it prevents root rot, especially if you live in a place where you get a lot of rain. So I have a lot of rain, which I know is going to limit me on my figs in the future because of splitting and humidity and things like that. I don't have a lot of heat, and I have a short season. So for me, it's better to go out and water every 2-3 days than it is to water once every 2 weeks and have the rain do the job for me and maybe slow down the growth or hurt my tree. And in my case, I really don't have a lot of lost my thought. Anyway, I saw this guy. I believe it's an LSU purple. Yes, it is. And these are all new as of this week. So I'm gonna have to keep monitoring. I water them every week or two, and every 2 to 3 weeks rather. Just a little bit, like half a cup, something like that. And these are all new. So this guy might try and pop out early. Keep an eye. I come down, I check them all, I make sure everything's okay. I had a couple that had a minor frost damage that I had to clip off because they were a little too green. They didn't lignify enough before the season, and I kind of pushed the envelope, seeing how long I could leave them out there. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that some people that I have prospective trades with are going to be watching this, and we'll see all the things I have growing. I'm very excited about it, and I can't wait to grow new varieties and have a new season. And I highly recommend using Harvey C's method with the grafting tape and the Pro Mix. It's worked wonders for me. I'm having like 85+% success rate. It's really a good way to go. Just make sure you don't overwater. I water every 4 days if needed, otherwise every week if they're not really growing well, and I give 1/3 of a cup of water. I give half to 2/3, and I use a literal measuring cup if they're well rooted and they're doing well. But don't give them too much water. It's better to give a little bit every once in a while than overwater and kill that cutting. Anyway,